Hey everybody, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be going over Blink's new Vision charger that they just showed off at CES just a few weeks ago. So this thing is actually originally unveiled at CES last year, I believe. Back then it was kind of a totally different looking product. As you can see, the screens were much smaller, and it was kind of just a different version of their IQ200 product. But now this is a kind of a completely different design. They actually changed the design to be more similar to what you're seeing right now. I think back in their Q2 earnings presentation last year. So they've kind of been settled on this design for a while, but they're kind of giving more details now about this product. So this first paragraph here, going over the basics of this, they say that this is a level 2 charging station designed for maximum impact at high traffic locations, boasting oversized 55-inch LCD screens for media displays. You can attract EV drivers with up to 160 amps of output per charger and captivate customers with a striking visual LCD screens capable of displaying static and dynamic advertising. The Vision charger is the perfect point-of-charge advertising solution, featuring a built-in camera to provide additional security, and dual cable configurations with 2 universal J1772 plugs to charge any electric vehicle and plug-in hybrid, so long as you've got a Tesla adapter if you're using a Tesla. So, this is overall a pretty interesting product, especially when you take a look and kind of make some comparisons over to what Volta is doing. I'm going to go ahead and read this second kind of description here before getting into some of the comparisons and the details here. So they say the Vision introduces a revolutionary charger as a revolutionary charger as a 2-in-1 solution that powers and captivates EV drivers with these displays. It's a networked charging station, comes equipped with a daylight color LCD charger touchscreen and easy payment via RFID credit cards. Durable construction, built-in cable management, and 4G LTE communications provide seamless operation. It's ideal for retail, hospitality, convenience stores, and other high-traffic locations. The Blink Vision allows your location to charge on with maximum impact. So that's kind of all they have to say, on their main website here about this charger. Now what you're seeing here is the product sheet for this Vision charger. They've kind of got all of the details and the specs down here. So I'm going to go through all of these bullet points here because I think there's some interesting, similarities and differences to Volta's chargers. Starting off the list, there's the 55-inch LCD screens that are capable of displaying static and dynamic advertising. Anybody that's familiar with Volta's chargers, they know this is pretty much the exact same thing. It's the same size. Everything is pretty much exactly the same as far as the screens go. Then they mention that there's both charging and advertising revenue streams available with this product. Of course, this is, how Volta's chargers, this is at least how they could be. Volta currently, all of their level 2 chargers at least are free. I believe their DC fast chargers are currently, you have to pay for those. But all of their level 2 chargers are free at the moment. I would expect that to change. I'm guessing that with the Shell acquisition going through, pretty soon they're going to end up switching all of their chargers over to paid charging sessions. So, as far as the payments go, I think this is something that's going to be similar, but at the moment, it's still worth considering that Volta's chargers are currently free. Whereas with Blink's Vision, this is something drivers are going to be paying for right from the start. Now, on the other side, the advertising, currently Volta owns all of their chargers, and they control what goes on the advertising screens. They've got their own sort of media network. So Volta is the one who is running the ads on the screens. It's not the place that the charger is located at, the site host. It's Volta itself. Whereas with Blink, it sounds like, the way they're describing it here, it sounds like this is just going to be a piece of hardware that Blink is selling, and the person who buys these chargers is going to have full control over what's being advertised on the screen. So I think that's a really important distinction between this product from Blink and, what Volta is doing here with their chargers. Continuing on the list, a pretty significant one, I think, is a built-in camera. You can see it right there along the top of this thing. This is, Blink says this is to prevent vandalism, basically, and just provide more security. Volta's chargers, they don't have any cameras on them, as far as I know. Maybe there is one hidden inside the frame there, but as far as I know, there's no cameras on Volta's chargers. So this is something I think is a good feature for any company that's owning these chargers, because I have heard a lot of concerns about vandalism around these large screens, and having that camera is a pretty good feature to have on these chargers for anybody looking to own these. Then there's easy payment via RFID, Apple Pay, Google Wallet, and all major credit cards. On Volta's level 2 chargers, they don't have any sort of payment terminal on them, but as far as I know, their DC fast chargers do, and they're collecting, they charge payments for charging sessions on those. But their level 2 chargers don't have any payment terminals at the moment. Now, in previous earnings calls, Volta did mention doing a retrofit to install payment terminals on all of these chargers, so that's probably something that's going to be changing in the future. Built-in electric metering manages electricity cost with an intuitive smart network connection. This is something that I think most chargers have, but if anybody knows more about this, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Then there's the dual cable configurations with two J1772 plugs. This is something that Volta doesn't have. All of their chargers, they've only got one cable on there. So having two cables on there I think is just a really good design. So I'm not totally sure why they don't include two cables on there to reduce the costs of just building a whole nother screen that you're just going to put right next to another screen. This thing communicates with the cloud via built-in 4G LTE. Pretty much all chargers that are on a network, they've got internet connection like that. There's charger holsters with LED lights, which is a pretty good feature to have at night, so that it's just easier to see where you're supposed to kind of connect that cable back to the tower when you're done charging. Then there's these 7-inch daylight color LCD charger touchscreens. They're not referring to the 55-inch screen. I'm not totally sure what they're actually referring to here. If you take a look back at some of these images here, I'm not seeing any other screens along these chargers. My guess is that they haven't incorporated that screen into the design of these mock-ups here. I'm guessing that these screens are going to kind of have all of the information about your charging session on there and your payment and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm guessing they're going to put them on the side maybe. I don't think it would really fit in on the front. So I'm guessing this is something that's going to kind of get put onto the side here, where the charging cable connects. Then they've got a standard 23-foot charging cable. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Then down here they've kind of got the full specifications of this charger. I'm sure a lot of people watching are probably pretty interested in all of this, but probably the most significant thing here would be the charging speed, which they say will be 19.2 kilowatts, using 48 amps at 240 volts. So like I've said in previous videos on Volta, I think it's a good idea to incorporate this advertising screen alongside these chargers. It simplifies a lot of the infrastructure work that has to go on when building these two products, so to kind of just put them into one package I think is a pretty good idea. But this isn't something you can just put everywhere. It's really great for retail environments where customers are seeing ads for products and then they're walking into the store, so it can kind of influence their purchasing behavior. But, this isn't something that would work out well for like an office building or something, for example. So I don't see this product as being like the ultimate charger that Blink is going to use to replace their other products. I think this is just another thing in Blink's lineup. That's all for today, and I hope to see all of you in the next video.